News at 4 o'clock, ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
It just got a lot easier for San Diegans to get vaccinated against COVID-19. The changes being made at some county sites. Plus, going outside, the CDC has loosened its mask guidance for fully vaccinated Americans. And
I just sprinted as fast as I could and just nailed him in the back.
that man helped capture the gunman from last week's shooting spree in the Gaslamp. What went through his mind?
ABC 10 News starts now with breaking news.
More than 1,000 students at San Marcos High School were forced onto the baseball field because of a bomb threat. Good evening, I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. This is breaking news we've been following all afternoon. So far, nothing has been found, but within the last 30 minutes, we learned some roads in that area reopened to traffic. As ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco explains, this all started when someone called the school and said 3 devices were on campus.
The roads around San Marcos High School are back open, but the school is still closed. Investigators are still inside looking into the threat that forced everyone out hours ago. More than 1,200 students and staff poured onto the baseball field just before 1 Tuesday afternoon at San Marcos High School. Someone called the school claiming 3 pipe bombs were inside. Bomb-sniffing dogs from several agencies were brought in to search the sprawling building. They did not find any explosive items. Students were transferred by bus to San Marcos Middle School, where their parents were able to pick them up. Parents we spoke to say this is a nuisance more than anything.
I'm a little bit more annoyed than scared, actually. It just seems like, in all likelihood, it's a prank. I mean, if you really wanted to blow up a bomb, why would you call it a threat? Seems like somebody wanted to get out of detention or something.
Teachers have been allowed to go back and get their cars from the parking lot. Normally, the school would have had twice as many students to evacuate, but they're on a 2-day-a-week hybrid schedule. Reporting in San Marcos, Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News.
Now, people with our 10 News mobile app first learned about that bomb threat from our breaking news alerts. To get real-time news on your smartphone or tablet, download our free app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News. In Barrio Logan, an arson investigation is underway after fire crews put out 3 separate fires today inside the same abandoned building. Just take a look at these massive flames. This is footage of the first fire that broke out around 4:30 this morning on the 1700 block of Newton Avenue. 6 hours after putting out the first blaze, firefighters got called back 2 more times to the same location. No other buildings were damaged.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus. Walk-ins are now welcome at all vaccination sites run by San Diego County. This comes after people struggled for months to get an appointment for a vaccine. ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is joining us now. Anthony, what's behind this change?
Well, the vaccination site here at Viejas Arena is closed for the evening, but many people got vaccinated today here without an appointment. In fact, I just spoke with a woman who came by after the site here closed. She says she's going to come back tomorrow to try and get vaccinated, adding that now not needing an appointment, she says, is just a game changer for her.
I love it. It's way more convenient. I look for appointments and it seems like a lot of places are super booked and the availability is pretty low.
Now, we had a chance to visit other vaccination sites soon after that announcement was made by the county that starting today, people will no longer need those appointments to get vaccinated at certain county-hosted vaccination sites. The county says they will be setting aside some vaccines each day specifically for walk-ups. That said, you can still make an appointment ahead of time if that works better for you. We should also point out that we noticed some of the larger super stations were not on that list of more than 20 county-ran sites allowing those walk-ups, and we do have a list of those locations on our website, 10news.com. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
A new era. Thank you, Anthony. Americans have a new incentive as well to get the COVID-19 vaccine if they haven't already. The CDC says people who are fully vaccinated can ditch the mask outdoors in many cases, but they should keep them on when they're in a crowd. As ABC's Andrew Dimbert explains, President Biden is supporting that change.
America inching closer to a return to pre-pandemic routine.
The bottom line is clear. If you're vaccinated, you can do more things more safely, both outdoors as well as indoors.
The CDC issuing new mask guidelines for Americans who are completely inoculated. If you're in that category, the health authority says it's safe to return to most all outdoor activities without a mask, including outdoor dining.
There are many situations where fully vaccinated people do not need to wear a mask, particularly if they are outdoors.
But when it comes to meeting indoors, the CDC still recommends masking up.
We know that the virus spreads very well indoors.
The CDC is still advising against ditching your mask at crowded outdoor settings like stadiums and concerts, but the mask rollback for vaccinated Americans is a testament to the efficacy of the vaccines.
It shows just how powerful these vaccines are in our efforts to end this pandemic.
The road to recovery still a ways away. Vaccine hesitancy is still a concern, as an ABC News Washington Post poll finds almost 1 in 4 Americans say they won't get a shot. And after the Johnson & Johnson one-dose shot was paused for 11 days due to rare blood clots that were never conclusively linked to the vaccine, more Americans now seem hesitant to receive a second dose of the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines.
It really made me think more than twice about going back and getting the second one.
And in Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee is lifting his state's pandemic restrictions.
COVID-19 is now a managed public health issue.
The CDC's new guidance also suggesting that unvaccinated people can go outside without masks when walking, jogging, or biking, but caution that outdoor settings still pose some risks. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
Los Angeles County is on the verge of moving to the least restrictive COVID tier. Today, the state revealed that LA's case rate has dropped to less than 2 cases per 100,000 residents. Well, if the rate stays that way for 1 more week, LA will move to the yellow tier. In yellow, bars could open indoors. Amusement parks can operate at 35% capacity, and outdoor venues such as Dodger Stadium can now be at 67%.
Today marks 2 years since a gunman walked into a North County synagogue and opened fire. 1 person was killed and 3 others were hit that day at the Chabad of Poway. Today, we spoke with one of the sheriff's deputies who raced to the synagogue after the 911 call. Detective Jess Allensworth had actually done a security training at the Chabad a few months before. He says one of the people inside during the shooting used that training and confronted the killer.
He told me later after the shooting that based on what we discussed in that training is one of the reasons why he stopped and went back and confronted the suspect. He challenged the suspect and threatened the suspect, and ultimately the suspect left.
Allensworth says confronting an attacker should be the last resort after running and hiding. Suspected killer John Ernest's trial has been delayed due to COVID. We're hearing more tonight from one of the men who stopped the Gaslamp shooter from potentially hurting more people last week. He spoke with ABC 10 News today, saying he was just at the right place at the right time.
Justin Larrabee says he was just out and about in the Gaslamp last Thursday night. He lives nearby and just moved to San Diego about a month ago. Larrabee, who served as a CB in the Navy, says he first heard the unmistakable sound of gunshots. When he turned back, he saw 28-year-old Justin Bolden, a valet worker, lying on the ground.
I felt the need after that first guy got killed, and I knew that he was an innocent bystander.
4 more men were shot further down Fifth Avenue, one in his late 60s, the others in their late 20s. Larrabee says he started running up Fifth Avenue and spotted a man pointing out someone in a hoodie.
The guy that was shooting, he had earbuds in, and he was listening to music and just waiting for someone to give him a reason to shoot at him.
Police are still trying to determine a motive for the shooting.
Sprinted as fast as I could and just nailed him in the back and kind of just took him down.
Moments later, San Diego police arrived and tased the suspect, but they also detained Larrabee and the other man who helped bring the alleged shooter down, while investigators figured out what happened.
It didn't feel like we did a good thing, you know what I mean?
He says it was several hours before he was let go. He tells 10 News he simply went back home and says he was just in the right place at the right time.
And that shooting suspect, 32-year-old Travis Sereshte, was in court today on an unrelated case. He's due back on May 3rd to answer to the charges related to the Gaslamp incident.
The FBI is launching a civil rights probe into the death of Andrew Brown Jr., a black man killed by deputies in North Carolina. As ABC's Rena Roy reports, today's announcement came hours after Brown's family released an independent autopsy showing he was shot 5 times.
With detailed diagrams and an independent autopsy report in hand, family attorneys explaining exactly how they believe Andrew Brown Jr. died.
It was a kill shot to the back of the head.
And they say those new autopsy results show that was just one of 5 gunshot wounds from officers, 4 into his right arm, and the fatal shot, they say, penetrating his skull as he tried to drive away.
A black man, unarmed, a bullet in back of his head for no reason.
It's also against police practice to shoot into a moving vehicle to a person who posed no threat whatsoever.
Brown's family saying on Monday they were only shown 20 seconds of body camera footage of the deadly incident, but explained they saw enough to notice Brown's hands on his car's steering wheel as officers shot at him while trying to execute a search warrant related to felony drug charges last Wednesday.
Yesterday, I said he was executed. This autopsy report showed me that was correct. It's obvious he was trying to get away. It's obvious.
Brown's loved ones and peaceful protesters in Elizabeth City demanding the full raw video be released to the public. The governor and sheriff's department also calling for that. The Pasquotank County attorney has now filed a motion in court asking for the full release of the body camera footage. Under North Carolina law, a judge has to approve that. The sheriff putting out a statement saying, "I want answers about what happened as much as the public does." However, a private autopsy is just one piece of the puzzle. Adding the independent investigation by the SBI is crucial to ensuring justice. The family's attorney says no weapons or drugs were found in Brown's car or in the house when officers attempted executing that warrant. Meantime, 7 sheriff's deputies have been placed on administrative leave as authorities investigate. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
One of the FBI's 10 most wanted suspects from the January attack on the U.S. Capitol is now behind bars. Prosecutors say this video shows Jonathan Monafo punching a police officer in the head after pulling away his riot gear. Another video allegedly shows Monafo using a pole with an American flag to break into the Capitol. More than 400 people have been arrested for the attack. The FBI is still looking for more than 100 additional suspects. And there will be increased security tomorrow when President Biden makes his first address to a joint session of Congress. There's been mesh fencing and increased security at the Capitol in the wake of the January attack. Tomorrow, there will be far fewer people allowed inside the building than would normally attend a presidential address due to COVID. And we'll bring you the speech live tomorrow. Our coverage starts with ABC 10 News at 5, followed by World News Tonight. The address and Republican response will begin at 6 o'clock, followed by a special edition of ABC 10 News.